Gabe writes, what's your favorite movie so far of the year? And what's the movie you're most looking forward to seeing before the year ends?
I mean, there's a couple for me. I mean, if you want to go big blockbuster, I still loved Apes. Apes is still my favorite blockbuster so far. Birdman and Nightcrawler are up there for me too. Really great films. And Whiplash. Whiplash is if you can catch Whiplash in theaters, go see it.
I want to see Whiplash and Birdman.
Awesome.
How about you?
Yeah, those two stick out just because I saw them again this week. Birdman and Whiplash are really great. I try to not think about my top 10 all the time, so right now, like, it's hard for me to come up. There was a lot of great movies. Looking forward to, obviously, Interstellar.
Yeah.
I mean, Inherent Vice, which is the movie I've been most looking forward to all year. But yeah, I think those two are great. The Raid 2 is still really cool.
Raid 2 is awesome. Yeah.
I still really liked Lego Movie. It was a big surprise for me. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is up there. I mean, even Gone Girl for me. I haven't seen Whiplash or Birdman yet, so I want to see those. I was pleasantly surprised by Skeleton Twins. I don't know if you guys saw that.
A lot,
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure there's a lot more. I mean, we're kind of getting into more of the Oscar type season. So in the next few months, we're going to see more of those type of movies.
Absolutely.
All right, what's next?
Sebastian Culligan writes, is Angelina Jolie's Cleopatra still going on?
I haven't heard anything.
I don't think so. I mean, I know that was a rumbling, but I don't know. I mean, she has Unbroken coming out, and she's directing. I think that's sort of what she wants to do now, is sort of stick behind the camera. So unless she directs and stars in it, I don't think it's going to happen anymore. Plus, that's such an expensive movie,
Right.
even back in the day.
And she made a ton of cash doing Maleficent, because that movie, regardless of what you thought about it, it made a lot of money. She made a lot of money off of it, and now she can go direct whatever she wants to direct.
Well, unless Unbroken flops, and then...
Well, she'll probably still have extra money to over. Man, that Maleficent movie.
Yeah, but I don't see the actors throwing their own money into the
True, exactly.
these movies,
Yeah, so she might be able to do some more. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Ryan Johnston writes, whatever happened to Stephen King's Dark Tower series being made into a feature film?
Last I heard, it was still in the works. I think they're still working on a screenplay. I don't know if Ron Howard is still attached to direct, but I think it's still sort of in development, but in that sort of stage where somebody's working on it, but that doesn't mean they're working on it every day.
It's been in development hell.
Yeah,
thing. Like back and forth. So many different things had gone wrong with this, and now, Ron Howard was on, he's off, he's back. I don't even know what's going on with it anymore.
Yeah.
It seems like a new report about it comes out like every 3 or 4 months.
Well, didn't they originally have a plan where we're going to make a TV series,
Yeah,
and then a movie,
everything.
and then a comic book,
Right.
and then they were going to just have them all.
We're going to perform it in the street.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see it eventually, maybe 15 years down the road. But we know that The Stand is coming, and they're going to remake it, right? Mm-hmm. So a couple other King properties are coming, and I think if those are successful, that might light a fire under the studio to be like, oh, let's get the Dark Tower out too. So
all right, what's next?
Carlos writes, when and how do you think Thanos will get the Infinity Gauntlet?
It's going to be a long development process, because if we go into what we're talking about here with the speculation of Civil War starting, they've got to play on that angle for a bit. And whether or not we see, it looks like Thanos is going to pop into Avengers 3 and 4 is when it looks like he's popping
I think maybe at the very end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 he gets it, setting up Avengers 4. That would be my guess at this point. You know, because, or no, that doesn't even work, because Avengers 3 is 2018, roughly, and then Guardians 2 is 2017. So it might be after that.
Right.
Maybe it's the end credits tag on Avengers 3. It won't be Avengers 3 because that's going to be the Civil War.
You're probably not going to care as much too, because if they set it up the way that they make it seem that they're going to, you're going to be so invested with what's going on with Stark and Rogers in Cap 3 that Thanos, he's out there, and then they're going to put that back with the gauntlet, and you're like, oh yeah, this angle.
I honestly think what happened was, I think probably Thanos was going to be in Avengers 3, and then the Guardians were so big, and it was such a big hit, they're like, wait, we need to use more Guardians. So they're going to put Guardians 2 and Guardians 3, and that's why they're taking the Infinity Gauntlet and pulling it back. Because the last Phase 1 and Phase 2 were all about that, Thor, the Dark World, and the Tesseract, and all this stuff is all about the Infinity Gems, and now we're like, oh no, Civil War. So I think the success of Guardians really pushed Thanos back and took that Infinity Gauntlet and moved it back.
And they're going to basically come out and say, you know what, now there's 30 Infinity Gems, and every movie they're going to collect one.
Well, that's interesting that you said that. Don't you think that Feige had a plan that he's wanted to do Civil War for a while?
I think he definitely wanted to do it, but I have a feeling, and this is just pure speculation based on the unprecedented success of Guardians, that might have made him step back and move the puzzle around.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what's next?
Thomas Dixon writes, what's a reboot that you'd like to see?
Flash Gordon. I say it every time. Flash Gordon. I want to see a more like a Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings Flash Gordon, like less campy and make it more Star Wars.
Jermaine?
Man, I'm drawing a blank. There's definitely stuff that I would like. Maybe The Last Starfighter. I love that movie, and that's a movie that was a little bit ahead of its time with the video games and stuff. And I think now with the internet and online gaming, and that would be you could work that into the idea of an alien race using a video game to recruit for. I think that would be a good reboot.
Well, we got this question last time too, and I think that one of the things that was director with a remake, and I'd like to see Jon Favreau do Time Bandits. I think that could be fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's two movies that I don't think need reboots, but for this generation of younger kids, maybe hopefully Goonies and Back to the Future.
Ooh.
You know?
Don't say Back to the Future.
Don't
say Back to the Future because it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
No, I don't think that needs to be a reboot. I think that can be a continuation because even when you have the original Back to the Future, something has to be done about your kids, Marty. Like they could do something about the kids. Same thing with Goonies, maybe what they've been talking about. It's the same thing with this Ghostbusters thing, though, too, is that...
Oh, God, that's the worst thing.
But, yeah, there's no reason for a Ghostbusters to be rebooted. To continue a storyline, it's fine in the world that was already created, because to reboot all the characters that were there, same thing with Back to the Future. Please don't ever reboot Back to the Future.
So you want to do like what they're doing with Twin Peaks right now? Like, just it's 25 years later or whatever?
Exactly, but also show what Days of Future Past showed you, when you play with time, you can really do anything. You can really kind of mix stuff around, and you can do stuff with Marty and maybe not necessarily have him, but mentioning him. Just all you have to do is mention Doc Brown. Mention Peter Venkman in the Ghostbusters. That's all you need. Don't ignore it and say, oh, we have no other ideas, so we just have to reboot it. Yeah. It's lazy.
A clean, fresh reboot. Maybe it's just the stigma of it that people are doing this now. But yeah, just sequelize it, but not really. There's always weird words like sequel, boot, whatever the heck you want to say.
Just tell me that world exists.
Yeah, because especially like Ghostbusters, if you reboot that, then you have to redesign everything. And it's like, those are so iconic. Why would you do that? This is off topic from that. So, but what are you going to do?
All right, what's next?
Simon Blakemore writes, hi AMC, do you have more confidence in Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman now that she has her own movie?
I don't know how that changes my confidence because they're doing a solo movie with her.
We knew she was going to do the solo movie anyway. It just was official.
No, it's not. It's just them. It's them putting their plan together. Because look, if Batman v Superman, it's going to make money. But if it doesn't have the audience response that it wants to do, that's Suicide Squad. That's the one. If that one bombs, and then Wonder Woman's the one after that, then you're going to start to be in trouble. If that Wonder Woman movie doesn't succeed, because then that whole slate is going to.
They've already shot. At that point, they'll have already shot 2 Justice League movies with her, and you're like, oh man, this is going to be.
Yeah, you don't know what her reception is going to be like from Batman v Superman. So.
But I think they knew, and she knew what she was getting into, and I think when they cast her. And I think Zack Snyder and the guys who run Warner Brothers knew what they were getting to, and I think they chose somebody specifically who had that longevity, had the talent, and I think the Wonder Woman movie we knew was coming, so I'm still confident in her enough. We'll see. We haven't seen her on screen yet, so we'll have to wait till then.
All right, one more.
Ryan McNeely writes, why haven't we heard any news on the Star Wars spin-offs?
Because they're focusing on Episode 7 right now with what they've done so smart, Disney and Lucasfilm. Even when for Comic-Con, right? I was upset there was no announcement we're going to do anything at Episode 7, but they made it a priority to focus on Rebels. Rebels did really well because of that. They not just because of Comic-Con, but in general the marketing push that they did for Rebels, very smart. That's what they're going to do for Episode 7. You're going to get news for the spin-off soon, and it's going to be very interesting when they announce what it is, who the casting is. I mean, they have to. The movie comes out in like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. I think that's right. But it's not like there's just no news. That doesn't mean nothing's happening.
Right.
You can go on Twitter and see Gary Whitta tweeting about writing Star Wars stuff all day, every day, and Rian Johnson and Josh Trank, who's doing the second one, has got another movie to finish called Fantastic Four. So that's the reason you haven't heard much about that. But yeah, I think, and I said this before on the show. I think the last time I was on. Star Wars Celebration Anaheim is in April, and that's 6 months before Episode 7. That would be the right time for them to release a trailer for that, and that would be the place to make their announcements. Like we saw with Warwick Davis, they like to control those announcements. If they do it at their own convention, that's what I'm.
And you also have D23 the same year.
Exactly.
So,
after that, like 2 months.
Right.
So they could save that announcement for D23 as well.
Yeah, they're saying they've tended to save a lot of stuff for their own stuff. I mean, they do Comic-Con, San Diego and New York, but they kind of hold some
Brings
of
more
the things
attention to it,
exactly.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.